First, on point tonight, if the past 2 years proved anything, it's that you never worry about the right thing. I am old enough and have been at this long enough to remember early January of 2020. Think back, just before the pandemic, when we were all worried the U.S. assassination of Iran's top terror leader would start a full-out war in the Middle East. In retrospect, that might have been a lot better than COVID. The past 2 years also taught us the seemingly impossible can happen. This is America. This is 2022, not the Soviet Union in the 1980s or Venezuela in 2015. Whoever thought we would run out of baby formula? But here we are with parents and grandparents driving all across their cities and all across their states looking for baby formula. Sadly, we must count on the very people who created the baby formula crisis to solve it. That problem in a minute. But first, what might be coming next? Scary report from the Wall Street Journal. Less than half of the corn, wheat, and soybeans usually planted by this time of year are in the ground. Combine that with virtually no wheat exports from Ukraine and America's already shaky supply system and supply chain, things could get interesting, difficult perhaps. Remember, baby formula shelves are bare because one plant closed. These are the baby formula shelves. They kind of look like Venezuela. You don't need to take that much baby formula or anything out of the system to cause chaos. We are now talking about a large percentage of corn, wheat, and soybeans potentially gone come fall. When explaining this segment to my dad earlier, he seemed unimpressed. As much as he loves food, corn on the cob is not a huge staple. Why should he care? Then I told him that, well, all the things corn is in, from animal feed, so forget meat, to ice cream. Prices on both will go up. Remember President Biden's plan to lower gas prices with more ethanol? That comes from corn, so price of that goes up. Corn syrup, which is in almost everything we eat or drink, that comes from corn. I could go on, but let's talk about what comes from wheat. Beer, adhesives, golf tees. You can tell what's on my producer's mind because beer is on the list yet again. He forgot bread, which tells you an awful lot about a young man's life these days. Now to soybeans, cooking oil, to crayons. Get ready for higher prices. We could go back to a time few living Americans remember, the Dust Bowl of the 1930s, food shortages and crop failures. Washington Post columnist Heather Long just wrote, quote, "Americans are stuck in an age of scarcity and they don't like it." Well, no kidding, Heather. America doesn't have scarcity or shortages. That's why we love America. That's why people all over the world travel thousands of miles with only the clothes on their back to come to America from places that have shortages like Cuba and Venezuela and the old Soviet Union. But get ready, because the very people we count on for, say, food safety are the very people largely responsible for the baby formula shortage, and the same people we need to fix the shortage. Over the past few years, shall we say, the FDA has not exactly distinguished themselves. Back in April, Politico reports the very day that the FDA was told that a baby had been hospitalized with a potentially deadly bacterial infection after consuming infant formula, the agency's own inspectors were in the plant that made the formula and found nothing serious enough to warrant regulatory action. That was the first time they had been there in a while. Turns out the FDA ended all inspections during COVID that weren't, quote, mission critical. If inspecting plants making baby formula is not mission critical, it's hard to understand what is. So save that thought for a minute. Turns out when they went back to the plant a few months later, they found all sorts of problems, equipment in disrepair, water issues, and so on. Should have been observable in September. This is from Politico. Sarah Shorter, Deputy Director of Regulatory Affairs at the Center for the Science and Public Interest, said, so the question is, why didn't the FDA inspectors catch these things? And if they managed to miss all of that, what else have they been missing? Okay, and what else have they been missing at all the other plants that they were supposed to be monitoring and visiting and inspecting? Of course, they shut down the Abbott plant. It's never when one thing goes wrong, it's when 2 or 3 things go wrong. And that's true in the baby formula shortage. So it might not be totally fair to entirely blame the FDA until you read this. Politico reports a former employee alerted senior FDA officials to what he said were lax practices, including regulatory violations at the Abbott Nutrition formula plant all the way back in last October. No surprise. After all, leadership at the FDA believes inspecting baby formula plants is not, as we said, mission critical. Now back to the empty shelves. Who's largely in charge of fixing the empty shelves process and who's President Biden relying on to change regulation? The FDA. What could possibly go wrong with that? Here's President Biden today assuring us the very best. We're on it.
The FDA just issued a statement about importation of formula from abroad.
All right, and evidently any parent who has a serious question, he said, we have set up a system, hhs.gov/formula, the fact sheet helping families find formula, which is largely a link to manufacturers' phone numbers. What could possibly comfort the parents of a crying, hungry baby more than a website? And the government is so great at websites. The Obamacare website, the Trump testing for COVID website that was going to be done with Google and Target, we're still waiting for that. As we said, the same people who largely caused the problem are the ones tasked to fix it. Thankfully, that's not quite the same with the pending wheat, corn, and soybean crisis. God plays a small role. After all, this winter and a late rainy season in the Midwest has made spring planting impossible. Hopefully that'll change with the heat wave over the next couple of days. Unlike the baby food crisis, which caught the administration flat-footed, President Biden started ringing the alarm bells about food on Wednesday.
It's been cold and wet this spring, like it is cold today. Yeah, we waited for 90-degree weather until I showed up here. But look, many farmers in the Midwest have been put behind the 8 ball because of that. But it kept them from getting into their fields and planting crops. But as Jeff just shared, American farmers always find a way.
So suddenly now government isn't the answer to all of our problems. It's on the backs of America's farmers. Armies move on their stomachs. Great generals will tell you that. And before America became a great industrial power, it had to become a great agricultural power, which brings us to the late Paul Harvey and his "So God Made a Farmer."
It had to be somebody who'd plow deep and straight and not cut corners. Somebody to seed, weed, feed, breed, and rake and disc and plow and plant and tie the fleece and strain the milk. Somebody who'd bail a family together with the soft, strong bonds of sharing.
So God made a farmer. And thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.